Morning, miss. Oh, yeah. Morning. Still worried about your friend? I predict she should be waking up soon. You all were lucky I found you when I did, otherwise she would have lost more blood and would have had a tricky recovery. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Are you trained in the healing arts? I think so. Bits and pieces are coming back. I guess whatever happened with Zoe made parts of my memories resurface faster than others. Like who my family is, or I should say the rest of my family. Oh? Well, I think who I met in the abandoned manor with Orion was my younger sister, but I'm not 100% sure. That's also when I met Lucinda. I'm sorry, who? The goddess Lucinda? She's the one who warned me not to look too deep into my past. But then the thing with Orion happened. He went into some mode of his, and when he went back to normal, suddenly passed out on us when we were eating food. Then another god named Merrick showed up and helped heal him. I think, anyway. After that, I somehow ended up having light emit from my hands, and then we both fell asleep for a couple of days, recovering from it. Then Lucinda said that the spell I was under was unraveling. I'm sorry, I'm still processing that you met the Moonweaver and the Shadow Weaver. This is interesting, though. Also explains why the two of your auras are... Morning. Here to relieve you, Nixie. Oh, really? Thanks, I'm starving. No, wait. There's breakfast down in the kitchen. Okay, I'll be back to check on her in a few. Guess they're still sleeping. Okay, now what to get? Good morning. Oh, sorry, morning. You alright? I guess I was having a conversation with Ivan, but it was cut short when Leo came in. He said something about auras. Weird. So, I know that you were primarily there to watch Zoe, but, any news on RJ? He seemed the same as last night. Ivan came in a few minutes before Leo switched with me. I think he was checking on both of them, but not 100% certain. Wait, you actually checked on him? Yeah? Does that surprise you? Well, yeah. I mean, he did just stab your friend unprovoked and all. Well, if I'm being completely honest, at first, yeah, I could have cared less. But now that I know he's being mind-controlled, I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of someone like that. My mother, I think, either way, I have vague memories of someone on her council, again, maybe not sure, influencing some of the decisions she was making. Similar to how you were talking about your father being influenced in the actions that he took. I also have a vague memory of a woman saying, "I'm doing this for the good of our family," before a bright light suddenly covered my vision, and everything after that's a bit blurry. Huh. That sounds like something my father did. Wait, did it involve... Like I said, I can't fully remember. Just fuzzy and or short memories of it. Sorry. Like I said, it gets fuzzy after that. And a bit before, come to think of it. Except for a girl that's named Gwen. Funny enough. Guess meeting her in that manner started to jog my memory of her. That and... Never mind. No, go on. I'm all ears. It's still a bit hazy, but I vaguely remember working for or being under the control of someone who had a tendency to give a variety of punishments if orders weren't followed to a T, or just because he felt like it. That doesn't sound like a nice thing to remember. Apologies for making you think of that. Oh, don't worry. I was going to remember everything eventually, good or bad. True, but still. Not a good idea. What the? Dude, don't do that. You certainly have a way of sneaking up on people. Even with squeaky floorboards. Well, I have been living here for a while. I know where to step. That's true. Anyways, as I was saying, going that route isn't the best option, especially since your sister isn't actually dead and one's memories are a touchy topic with most people with spiritual powers. Wait, I'm sorry. What do you mean by saying she's not dead? She seemed pretty, I don't know, not completely corporeal, but not exactly all there, if you know what I mean. Well, I don't, and honestly, I have no idea how she got through that barrier, but how she did might have been responsible for her appearance when you saw her. So, even if we did find someone with yeah. So, even if we did find someone with spiritual magic, they couldn't help us with any of it. Exactly. Who else were you looking for or contacting? My younger brother. I asked Merrick to look for him, but he's warded, so he can't see him. I was thinking maybe someone with spiritual magic would have a better chance because you can ward people against magic and magical people, but you can't ward off one's spirit. Very true, but if the Shadow Weaver himself couldn't locate him, then anyone else wouldn't be able to either. I knew that, but it was worth a shot. Just want my younger brother out of that place. I can understand why. Someone with the type of magic he does isn't suited for a realm like the Nether. You know of my brother? Yes, and before you ask, I have my ways. Okay. Hate to break up the conversation. Why is it taboo to mess with one's memories? Well, it's not necessarily a taboo, just if one's not careful, you can really mess someone up. That, and since your memories aren't really lost, just locked away for the moment, I assume I would become more of a... I assume I'd become more of a mess than what's already happening to me. Yes, you would. On a different note, do you two have any plans for today? I didn't. Alright? I had planned to hang out here all day, not like I had anything else to do. That and you're helping my friend. What'd you need? Do you two mind helping me out in a few minutes then? Sure. Likewise. Also, speaking of which, in regards to your friend Orion, I might have to take longer than I originally thought to heal him. I wish I had someone with spiritual magic to help. Might see if... Hold up. Sorry to interrupt, but why do you need someone with spiritual magic? Shouldn't your light magic be enough? And didn't you just say it's not good to mess with someone's memories or spirit or whatever? Normally, yes, my magic would work just fine, but it's the way this mind control has been placed into the gentleman that's the issue. Oh? Well, whoever cast the spell did it in a way where it's attached to his spirit. It's almost like it warped his spirit or affected it in a way that's making it difficult to cleanse him of all of its influence. Also, I would prefer to not use spiritual magic due to not wanting to use the type of magic to help restore your memories, Nixie. But because of the way the mind control is within him, I'd like to have someone with those powers around just in case. Like I stated before, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Do you have anything you wish to say to him? I can have you write it down for when I wake him up for him to read. Yeah, I wanted to ask him what went through his mind to start listening to my dad's right-hand man. Like, we grew up together, so he should have known the guy was a nut job from the start. I get he's being mind-controlled, but why did he think stabbing someone was the best course of action? Well, one exclamation could be that the person could have started slow, meaning whoever the person was trying to influence wouldn't even realize it, that they were being influenced. True. That guy is extremely good at playing the long game. I mean, it took him years to become my dad's right-hand man as it is. With him being in a position of power, that would make interacting with your friend easier too. True. I just hope we can get him help soon. I don't like him not being in complete control of his mind, especially with our type of magic. Does he have shadow type magic as well? Is it as advanced as yours? Regardless, I'll try my best. Like I said before, I do have someone in mind that can help. I just have to find a way to get in contact with them. Yes, he does have shadow magic. Not as advanced as me, but... Morning, all. Oh, morning. What's with these two interrupting important conversations today? My apologies. Good morning. I'll give you three some space. Okay. We made it. That we did. What now? I mean, how long are you... I mean, we're planning to stay here. After Zoe's completely healed, I mean. Honestly, not sure. Was planning it as I went along. What do you mean by we? Well, you did make it clear I was part of this group whether I liked it or not. Yeah, we did. But like I said, I was personally leaving that up to Zoe for when she felt well enough to travel. Do either of you have any plans for after breakfast? I mean, Orion and I did say we'd help Ivan later, but it looks like he's gone to work on something else, so we have some free time. Reading? Playing cards? Honestly, might spend it trying to keep my brother from driving both himself and us nuts. How competitive is your brother? Alright, thought I'd tell you to the help I required. I need some ingredients to be gathered. Most are in my garden, just to your right, past those trees. Okay. But some of them you might need to hunt for. Okay, and just what's on this list? Nothing else? No, just what's on that list I gave you. I need them to help make a tea that will help your friends, both of them, for when they wake up. It'll help them regain their strength. Okay, shouldn't take us long. No problem. Oh, and if you get lost, take this. It's attuned to me, so it should lead you back here if you two get lost. Okay, cool, thanks. Alright. Excuse me. Where do you want to start? His garden or looking for the other plants on the list? Good question. Want to start with the ones we have to hunt for? That way if it starts to rain, we'll be closer to his house to go for shelter. That's a good idea. Let's do that. I think that's everything he needs. So now what? I don't know. I guess we head back to his place? Before we head back, mind answering some questions for me? Sure. If I remember the answers, that is. Okay, fair. First question. What is the earliest thing you can remember? Waking up in that guy's healing room? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? I woke up in Ivan's healing room. Wait, then why did you say you didn't know where the guy lived? Well, that's because I didn't. After getting the quote-unquote all clear from Ivan, well, I didn't know that was his name at the time. He gave me like a ring or something to teleport me to a random village, and then I just slowly made my way to Mizuki from there. And before you ask, no, I didn't remember the guy's face. I just remember waking up in a room with several windows and then being healed by a guy who was very shocked and a little too excited that I woke up. Oh, do you remember anything else? I did notice when I woke up that I had these weird markings all over my body, but after a few days this disappeared, so I didn't think anything of them. Till now, really. Markings? Yeah, if I remember correctly, they were like swirls or markings everywhere. Kind of like ivy or smoke. Not too sure, actually. I was still out of it from whatever I woke up from. What? What color? White, I think? Funny. Mine are similar but black, except no one can see them right now because I have all my clothing on. I wonder if that has any connection to my friend, the one that I'm looking for. That and her magic signature. Magic signature? Mind telling me a bit about your friend? Sorry to interrupt your questions, but you've mentioned her a lot recently. Oh, and Ivan said something about our auras earlier. I meant to ask him, but I keep forgetting. Sure. As I've mentioned before, she has healing abilities, including self-healing. She can use other elements too. She's an expert at martial arts and loves to just hang around a lot and relax, when that was an option. She also loved to read and would read anything she could get her hands on. Like RJ, she's fiercely loyal to those she considers friends, family, and her family's subjects. Wait, she was royalty? Yep. At first, the way we met was being forced to spend time together. Guess at our births, talks of arranged marriages popped up? I don't know. We disliked each other at first, due to the, being forced to hang out thing, but eventually it evolved into a strong friendship. She sounds like a nice person to hang around, and handy in a fight. Between her dual swords, along with her other arsenal of weapons and her magic, she was a force to be reckoned with. We both were, especially if we worked together. What other stories do you have to tell? Depends on how much time you have. There's a lot. But what was Ivan saying about our auras, I wonder? He just mentioned something about our auras being different. Both Leo and Lydia kind of interrupted both conversations while he was trying to talk to us about it. Oh. Guess we can ask him later. Mind if I continue with my questions? Sure. Go ahead. Okay, what question was I on? Oh, right, number 2. What's your favorite weapon? Practical or my actual favorite? Both? Oh, well, from a practical standpoint, I use whatever I can get. Most of the time it's single-handed weapons, but I really prefer dual weapons. Or a combo like a sword and dagger. If no weapons are available, I can give a pretty good right hook. What? Would you mind being my sparring partner? Sure. Anytime? Well, not literally. You know what I mean. Yeah, I get it. Thanks. No problem. I've been a bit shy about asking to spar with anyone at home, or with either Lydia or Leo. Not that I don't want to keep my skills up or anything, I'm just still trying to figure everything out. Especially with what's been happening recently and all. Makes sense. Don't want to make things deadly with weapons if you don't really remember who you are. Oh, I'm not saying I don't know how to use weapons or anything, just my skills... I can surprise people with how good I am at it. Also, because of this, of not remembering who I am thing, people have a tendency to underestimate me, and I end up either hurting themselves or I end up accidentally hurting them. Actually, why I was on the move a bunch and liked to stay alone. Not as many people get hurt that way. That sounds familiar. Did you do the same? Kind of. Well, I'd always felt different from everyone else, not sure when it started, but the more I grew up in both experience and especially magic, I just felt different from my family and peers. So, once I could, basically once I was out of school, I tried to stay on the move and out by myself. When I was in school, I had learned of a group of individuals that called themselves the 12. Not sure if there were actually only 12 members in it, or if it had anything to do with their connections to the gods. Who were the 12? They were a group of individuals from all races and backgrounds that did their best to solve problems around the world, and keep each other in check, because if one went all out, let's just say it wouldn't end well for anyone. Typically, that would only happen on battlefields, so as long as it was directed at whoever the enemies were, no one seemed to mind much. Huh. That sounds neat. Yeah, they were apparently a rowdy bunch, but when things got serious, you could count on them to get shit done. Too bad they haven't been active. Too bad they've not been active for a very long time. Oh. Anyway, third question. What was that? What was what? That. Did you hear that? What, that rustling noise? Yeah, I thought it was an animal. Yeah, no. I just got a weird feeling. Do you want to head back or not now? Yeah, probably best. Mind continuing this conversation later? Sure. Sounds good.